Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Dave coming to you from the paddock here in Southern Maryland. It's kind of early. It's like 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. I had a really nice slow Saturday. I've been in here. Got up early, did my 5 o'clock thing, came over here at 8:30, and crushing it. I do a lot of investment pre-planning over the weekend so I can execute Monday morning. If I do crypto stuff, I actually do it sometimes on the weekend. I got to be careful. You don't want to influence coin prices by putting in big orders off hours. I've had a really good day so far. Smoking the Maryland Meerschaum Church Warden, coloring up nicely. So frustrating. I can't get this to color much, but this thing was snow white a few months ago. You can see I burn it. A lot of that cleans off, but I still do get the flame on there. I'm finishing up my Golden Days of Yore. This thing's empty now, so all three of my little tins are done. My corncob pipe and a button nose is gone. My Kringle Flake is gone, and now my Golden Days of Yore is gone. So I've been true to what I said. I've smoked only Christmas blends for the last few weeks. Continue that for a while, for another week or so, and then we'll move on. But I got my Christmas cookie and my Santa sack. So even after today, I'll be smoking Christmas blends. So I think Golden Days of Yore is a great blend, by the way. I really enjoyed it. I still don't think it's a Christmas blend, but I have enjoyed it. So this is a conversation about books. So if you don't want to hear about books, you can turn this off because that's all I'm going to talk about right now. If you're one of my OGs, I actually read some of these books to you. I've read them on channel several times. I haven't done much book reading lately on the channel. But I've had a couple of you ask me, what books have I read that changed my life? I think one of you guys actually said, what are the 5 books that changed my life the most? I had to reach back like 20, 30 years to really think about it. So I've got 3 books that will change how you think about things. If on any of them you think, oh, I already read that, or I read that in high school, I read that in college, and you really haven't read it, if these books have not profoundly changed how you think about life, about wealth, about creation, about manifestation, you probably want to go back and reread them. So I might have more than 5, we'll see. But the first few are about changing the way you think about things. And then we'll talk about execution. I guess one of the other things I want to talk about is how you absorb this material, how I absorb this material anyway. I can't just lightly read a book and then get it, right? And so usually these books I'm going to show you in particular, I've read the paperback version where I'm holding it in my hand 3, 4, 5 times. I've listened to the audiobook version probably 10 times. On 2 of these, I studied them daily for 10 years. So I can't tell if I'm a slow learner or I don't know, or why it takes me so many times, but I have to consume this information multiple times for it to begin to make an impact inside my life, to make changes to how I do things, to make changes to how I think about things. I can tell you, once I've read a book 2 or 3 times, I've listened to a book 2 or 3 times, then my photographic memory kicks in and I have almost a photographic ability to recall this material. We're not going to talk about the Bible in this video, but I've now read the Bible, I think 3 years in a row, every day, 3 or 4 different versions of the Bible. I now have almost a photographic memory recall of the Bible. I can certainly remember something and go try to find it, look it up. The online version helps me look it up, by the way. But I know what I'm looking for. I know the words. I know the quote. I know the passage I'm looking for. I sometimes can't tell you. It's like Mark chapter 3, verse 12. I'm not good at that. But anyway, these books I'm going to show you, I have that pretty much in all these books. And all these books have changed me in some way, and how I think about things, and how I plan things, and how I commit to things, and how I execute things. So to me, these are the books that changed my life. And there's more than 5, by the way. So some of them are going to be, you're going to think, oh, it's cliche. I mean, everyone read that book. I didn't really, that's bullshit, right? I'm telling you, that's not true. Each one of these books, if you read the book multiple times, it will change your belief system. It will change how you think about things. So here we go. First one, some of them I've given away so many times I don't have the book anymore. Like I can't find my version of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki, I don't care what you think of him. The seems to have either a cult following or people just can't stand him. I'm telling you, if you read this book, I've read all of his books. I've read his first 8 or 10. I don't know. He probably has more out now. But this book changed how I think about money, how I change about the 1% versus, I mean, back when this was written, the concept of the 1% wasn't talked about much. But how rich people think about money and how the rest of people think about money. This changed my life. This changed my life a long time ago. I don't even know what year it was written, but I probably read it 25, 30 years ago. So there's book 1 that changed how I live life. The second one is another one that everyone's probably heard about, maybe even read it once, but maybe it didn't sink in. The Richest Man in Babylon. Super easy, super simple, easy to get, should change your view of money, of saving, of compound interest, of spending money on things that matter, on assets versus on liabilities and stupid things, toys. Anyway, that's the second one that changed my life. The Richest Man in Babylon. Again, this is probably 20 years ago, but it was foundational to who I am today. The next 2 maybe are 10, 12 years ago. I don't even know, and he's dead now, unfortunately. I've gone to see this guy a couple times. Dr. Wayne Dyer. I love his entire line of books, by the way. I've read probably 20 of his books. But this one changed my life, The Power of Intention. You can tell by, if you watch my videos, you know that when I commit to something, I'm on it. Man, I have full-blown intention. I don't dabble in things. I go once I intend, once I lay out an intention, I'm going to get it done. And sometimes it's brutally painful. Sometimes I lose friends or family members over it. I leave a lot of dead bodies in my wake when I'm going after something I intend to. And this book helped me understand truly the power of intention. Can't tell you how important this book was to my life. The first book I read actually comes later in the series, much later. Excuses Be Gone. This is how I entered the world of Dr. Wayne Dyer, is this book. But for me, I would recommend you read this one first. Read Power of Intention first. But where it's most getting this done is this book, right? Once you've set an intention, screw all the excuses, screw all the reasoning behind you not getting it done. And so the combination of these 2 books is monster important to me. Dr. Wayne Dyer, Power of Intention, Excuses Be Gone. If you go on to, you can see he gives presentations. He used to give live talks. And so how I actually found this guy was on PBS. He did an hour-long presentation in Boston on this concept, and it's fantastic. He's also done Power of Intention. He's got Power of Inspiration too. But if you can actually find him doing these things live, to me, watching him present it was the most powerful part. And then I actually went and read the books. So change your brain on what's important in life. That's what Richest Man in Babylon did. That's what Rich Man, Poor Man did. It changed what's important to me. It changed the way I thought about life, wealth, and all that. Then, how do you do it? Power of Intention, Excuses Be Gone really helped me. Now that I'm thinking different, how do I move that way? So that really helped me. And then this guy, Viktor Frankl. Man's Search for Meaning. He wrote it in his head while he was in the concentration camps, World War II. And he was one of the ones that made it out of the concentration camps. But Viktor Frankl came up with, to me, the greatest concept I've ever learned, and that's the concept of the gap. You've heard me talk about it 50 times on this channel. The gap between how you're performing in life and your expectations of life, in that gap. And he talks about a man defines himself between the gap between what life serves you up as a stimulus and how you respond to that stimulus. And the gap in between is who you are. And the goal is to extend that gap so that when life throws you something, how do you respond to it? You don't respond to it immediately. In fact, the longer you can create the gap between what happens to you and how you respond to it, you become a better and better person, a more mature person in how you act in the gap. For me, it also is the gap between your expectations and your behaviors. Anyway, Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, life-changing book for me because of the concept of the gap. I have learned a lot. My life coach is the one who started teaching me about the gap, and I went and read the book because of it. So another one in execution now is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This book was written in about like 1932 in the depths of the Depression. I can't believe this book was written that long ago. I can't believe it came out of the depths of the Depression. But if you want to change your mindset, how do you bend your mind to accomplish something, to manifest something in the physical world? This book teaches you how to do it. This book will freak you out. If you're not ready for it, this book will seem like total crap to you. This is a life-changing book if you're ready for it and you really want to put time into it. It's thick. It's a lot of reading. It's not fun. A bunch of little words, a bunch of pages, 350 pages, no pictures, no diagrams. This is hardcore how to take what you want in life and bring it into your life in real. So converting dreams to physical reality, this is the book that helped me do it. Now, this book comes with a daily reader. Now, if you're one of my OGs, you see me read to you out of this book. This is every day has a reading, right? I've been through this book is beat up. I mean, I've read this book day for day for year after year after year. I've probably got 8 or 9 years of going through it on a daily basis. So the combination of understanding this book and then getting a daily pill or daily sample out of it, this changed my life. This changes my life. It's still part of my daily life. I love this combination. The last book I'll show you is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This is another book that a lot of people have always said to me, oh, I read that in college. Well, then you didn't read it, right? If you're not living the life you want to live, if there's a gap between your expectations of your life and where your life is, you need to go back, get this book and really get it, really understand it. There are 7 habits in here, okay? But there are 4 that changed my life. Habits 1, 2, 3, and habit 7. Those 4 changed my life and really drive my life to today. Habit number 1 is be proactive. I've told you hear that, right? Can you hear it in my previous videos? Be proactive. Don't wait. Don't wait for the blessing from God. Don't wait for life to bring you good things. Be proactive. Get your shit together and go after it. Be proactive. Number 2 is begin with the end in mind. Anytime you take on a new activity, what do you want from it? You want money, you want wealth, you want a better marriage, you want a better relationship with your kids, you want a better job. I don't care what it is. Begin with the end in mind. Before you start the project, know what you want from it. That's very close to be proactive, right? The third one is put first things first. You've heard me say 100 times on this channel. Start your day doing the thing you want to do least first. Put first things first. What he means is put the most important thing you got to do today on the list first. And you got to know what the most important thing is, right? So you got to be proactive. You got to begin with the end in mind, and you got to know what's most important to get done first today. Those are the 3 habits that changed me the most in my life. The 7th habit, I'm skipping over 4, 5, and 6. Read the book. The 7th habit is called sharpen the saw. That means you got to do some self-improvement, right? You get to a certain point and you start to level out. You start to sit back on your laurels. You got to sharpen yourself and go to the next level. Sharpen the saw. Those are the 4 habits. I can't tell you how much this book changed my life. This book also comes with a daily reader. And if you're one of my OGs, you've seen me read to you out of this book. It's the same thing. It's every day of the year. You can see I've highlighted, I've written it. It's dog-eared. It's basically ready to fall apart. I've read this book every day for probably 10 years. So again, this book and this daily reader changed my life, changed how I live it. I'm going to end it with that, guys. So I don't even know how many books that was. All right. So those are the books that changed my life and how they changed them. I hope this helps. I hope this lands. I hope this inspires you to at least get the Audible book, but go out and buy these books. Get the paperback versions. They're cheap as hell. They're all on Amazon. I just checked. And they're all on Audible. I just checked. So for very little money, you could buy these things and begin to change your life. These are the books that changed mine. I hope this helps. Talk to you later, everybody.